There are 5 necessities in order for human beings to thrive on this earth. The most important of these 5, according to me, is a sense of higher purpose. And I want to show you what happens when you add this sense of higher purpose like an ingredient to the other 4 necessities. Because suddenly we get a cocktail or a feast that is extraordinary in its capacity to allow all beings to prosper fully. The first one is food. We all need food, and we need to feed ourselves, and we need to feed our families and our communities. And feeding obviously has a deep fear inside every human being. Can I feed myself? Can I feed my loved ones, my family? And when we add the ingredient of higher purpose, food becomes more than just I need it for me or I need it for those I love. It becomes more about nourishment. It becomes like this is something I can share with others. This is this is food I can grow with others. And ideally, what we would do in our world is, grow vegetables and cultivate foods together so that we can share and exchange. And in a way, that's what we've been doing. We haven't been doing that as communities. We've been doing that in a different way through mass production stuff, which means it's controlled. So, we don't have that sense of higher purpose within every community that is or individuals or families, because we're not growing our own food enough, and we're not yet sharing that. So that's something that's essential. When you add that sense of higher purpose, then suddenly food is abundant because it can be shared and exchanged, and and it's something that everyone can be involved in, and in a way should be involved in, growing and bringing food out of the earth and sharing that nourishment with each other. The second ingredient or necessity is water. Water goes along with food in a way. It's a little different because water sources are, they need to there are either wells or rivers or streams or springs, and sometimes they're not. There's the tradition of having like a water source in the middle of the village, and then everyone comes there, and whether they bathe there or whether they wash there or whether they drink from the well, water is more than just drinking and washing. It's actually, when you add the higher purpose element, it becomes healing, because water brings people together. And if we are able to share our water communally like that on our water sources, then it becomes a healing. It has this healing aspect because it's something that brings us together. The third necessity is shelter. Shelter I use as a broad term because shelter can provide shade, it can provide warmth. It's a way we can get energy, and but it's like not just hunkering down for ourselves. If that's that's one way. So you hunker into your own little home, like we all are now, hiding away and taking care of ourselves. The moment we add higher purpose to shelter, then suddenly shelter becomes more about just my own enclosure and safety. It becomes about hosting. It's the tradition of hosting strangers or outsiders and having an open home so that others can come and we can look after them and care for them and offer them the nourishment of the food and the healing of the water sources. And we can be a host and make friends and connect and have an open house. Obviously, this is something that we can't do right now because of the situation in the world, but it's something that is the essence of what it really means to be a human being, is to share our homes with others openly. And that's the what happens when you add higher purpose to shelter. The fourth one is community. You need to have community in order to thrive. If you're isolated on some hidden island, it's very difficult to truly thrive. And community means lots of interconnections, relationships, so that you can have wisdom that's there, communal support from the people around you, from being part of something, that you can grow the food together, you can dig the wells for the water, you can share your fires and your warmth and your shelter, and you can build community, and therefore you can build strength, safety, and all those things that healthy human beings need. If you add the ingredient of higher purpose to community, it really becomes magical, because then you no longer have different communities or tribal groupings competing for resources. You actually have one community that is helping others. Its doors are open to help other communities, and then you get transcendence. You really get unifying when you add that higher purpose of a community is to really open its entire doors to share its food, its water, its shelter, to exchange ideas, wisdom, help, assistance, to open up. And if all the communities of the world were able to do this, to no longer compete, but to open up and support each other and exchange in balanced ways, then we would have this global realization, this heaven on earth, this peace on earth that we all dream of. So in this framework of food, water, shelter, and community, the one ingredient that is absolutely essential, that needs to be in all of them, is a sense of higher purpose. This higher purpose that is greater, this altruistic purpose that has a greater vision than just me. I've got to take care of myself. I've got to take care of my own things. I've got to make sure I've got the resources, or my family got the resources. If we can add that sense of higher purpose, if we can unlock our own individual higher purpose in life, then we can transcend the fears that our body holds from our ancestry, from having to survive. And then we can transfer that into communal sense of purpose. Because when individuals find their sense of higher purpose, then communities find their sense of higher purpose. And when that happens, then we have this proliferation of abundance and this healing energy that comes through, everyone having that sense of higher purpose. And I tell this story now because that's what these teachings that I represent, the Gene Keys, are all about. They're all about finding your individual higher purpose, the very best of your humanity. When you've got that, you have the vital ingredient that makes everything possible in the world. The dream of a world of peace, of goodwill to all men and women and all of that, all those dreams that we've held for generations, are only possible when we all find our individual higher purpose. That's the journey of the Gene Keys. That's what it's all about. I invite you, I welcome you to come in, try, find out for yourself. There's a load of resources that help you, and journeys and a community around the world that help you to find what is my high purpose. How do I engage that? How can I use it to help myself, my family, my friends, my community, and the world thrive? That's the very essence of what these teachings are all about. So I hope you find it inspiring. I hope you feel welcome, because you are. Please come in, enjoy, engage, and let's support each other in changing our view, our entire world, our paradigm in this time of incredible opportunity that we actually have right now. Thank you.